December 2010. A cold wind blows across Ocean Parkway on Long Island, New York. A police officer and his K-9 are on a search. Not for a killer, but for a missing person. A 24-year-old escort named Shannon Gilbert vanished months earlier, last heard screaming into a 911 call that someone was trying to kill her. But what they found that day wasn't Shannon. Deep in the thorny brush, the officer's dog uncovered a skeleton wrapped in decaying burlap. The quiet, wealthy shoreline of Gilgo Beach had just given up its first dark secret. Within days, the grim discoveries multiplied. 3 more bodies were found, each wrapped in the same coarse burlap, each posed in a hauntingly similar way. All were young women who, like Shannon, had been working as escorts. The media quickly dubbed them the Gilgo Four. They were Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, Amber Lynn Costello, and Maureen Brainerd Barnes. The oldest was 27, the youngest just 22. They had disappeared over a span of 3 years, their lives cut short and their bodies discarded like refuse. A serial killer was using Long Island's scenic coast as a personal graveyard. As the investigation expanded in early 2011, the horror only intensified. The search area along Ocean Parkway revealed 6 more sets of human remains. The victims were tragically diverse: a toddler and her mother, a transgender woman, and even partial remains scattered across different locations. The body count rose to at least 10, maybe 11 victims. This discovery sent a shockwave through the community and the nation. The central question became terrifyingly complex. Was this the work of one prolific, monstrous killer, or were multiple predators using the same remote stretch of beach as their dumping ground? And what about Shannon Gilbert, the woman whose frantic disappearance started it all? A year later, her body was finally found in a nearby marsh. The official cause of death was ruled as accidental drowning, suggesting she may have perished from exposure while fleeing in terror. But many, including her family, have never accepted this explanation. They believe she was the killer's first intended victim that night, the catalyst that accidentally unearthed a decade of buried evil. The search for Shannon may have inadvertently brought the Long Island serial killer's crimes to light. For over a decade, the case went cold. Leads dried up, detectives came and went, and the evidence collected dust. The families of the victims lived in a state of suspended agony, knowing a killer was still out there, possibly living among them. Theories swirled, pointing to police corruption, high-profile cover-ups, and a killer who seemed to be a ghost. The beaches, once a symbol of summer fun, became a monument to unsolved murder and unimaginable loss. Hope for justice began to fade. Then, in 2022, a flicker of light. A new, dedicated task force was assembled, armed with technology that didn't exist when the bodies were first found. They dove back into the cold case files, re-examining old evidence with fresh eyes and powerful new tools. Advanced DNA analysis, cell phone tower data, and sophisticated digital forensics became their weapons. They began to zero in on a name, a man who had been hiding in plain sight for years: Rex Heuermann. On the surface, Rex Heuermann was the picture of mundane success. A married father and a respected architect with an office in Manhattan, he lived in a modest, slightly run-down house in Massapequa Park, just a short drive from where the bodies were found. He was a neighbor, a commuter, a man nobody would look at twice. But the digital trail he left behind told a different story. Investigators uncovered a pattern of burner phones used to contact the victims. Heuermann was cunning, often using these phones only when his wife was out of town to create a false alibi. The science was what finally tightened the net. A single hair found on the burlap used to wrap one of the victims was a DNA match. It wasn't his, but his wife's a mitochondrial DNA link that placed him squarely in the frame. Another hair found on the tape binding a victim was a direct match to Heuermann himself. The ghost was finally getting a face. The invisible man was about to be caught. On July 13, 2023, the long wait for an arrest came to an end. Rex Heuermann was taken into custody and charged with the murders of 3 of the Gilgo Four: Melissa, Megan, and Amber. He was also named the prime suspect in the murder of the 4th, Maureen Brainerd Barnes. The news was a bombshell. The quiet architect was now the face of one of America's most infamous serial killer cases. When investigators descended on his home, the search revealed a chilling secret life. They found a vault containing over 200 firearms, a disturbing collection of trophies potentially linked to his victims, and hundreds of burner phones and fake IDs. His search history was a window into a depraved mind, filled with violent, fetishistic content and meticulous searches about the investigation itself. Neighbors, once indifferent, now came forward, describing him as creepy, strange, and a recluse. The monster had been living next door all along. But even with Horrifying behind bars, the story is far from over. He has only been charged in connection with the Gilgo 4. What about the other 6 or 7 victims found along Ocean Parkway? Was Horrifying responsible for all of them, or are there still other killers at large? Did he have accomplices who helped him commit or cover up these heinous crimes? And the lingering question remains, what truly happened to Shannan Gilbert? Was her death a tragic accident, or was she the final, undiscovered victim of the man whose reign of terror she helped expose? The arrest of Rex Horrifying brought a sense of relief but not complete closure. For the families, it is just the beginning of a long road to trial and hopefully to definitive answers. The dunes of Gilgo Beach may have given up one of their secrets, but the full truth of what happened on that dark, windswept shore may still be buried, waiting to be unearthed. The world is now watching, waiting to see if justice will finally be served for all the lives stolen by the Long Island serial killer. Thank you so much for watching. This is a complex and ongoing case, and our hearts go out to the victims and their families who have fought for justice for so long. If you found this video informative, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into compelling cases. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.